Hello everyone and welcome to highlights of the XRL Europe Super League games. On today's programme we have extended highlights from our key game of the day, that is Everton versus Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. As well as this we have highlights from all of the other games including Schalke versus Napoli and a great game between Valencia and Zenit St. Petersburg. But now we're going to go to our main game, our extended highlights feature between the two Merseyside giants, Everton and Liverpool. This proved to be a great game. The commentary crew for the game, Martin Turner and Adam Smith.
Everton get the game underway.
The first game of the season between these two great rivals, and there should be many great seasons to come.
Yeah, and this contest might tell us a bit more about how this season's going to pan out.
Jordan Henderson. Coutinho. And it's Ricky Lambert. Chance for it, and the shot's off. Well, the target was there. Maybe he was looking at the target and not the ball because he didn't hit it really right in the middle.
Yeah, I think there's an element of that. Just didn't keep his head down, his eye on the ball, and it's cost him.
Coutinho. Lucas. Sacco. Brought some width into this attack.
Liverpool will get the throw.
And it's Ricky Lambert. Now they're helping him out. And here's the shot. Oh, well reached by the keeper to turn it away.
That's a corner now for Liverpool.
Great hands from the goalkeeper. Here's McGeady.
Great chance, got to be. And he's put it away.
Another peek at that goal. So a goal with Everton leading here. Glenn Johnson. Tackling, it's a real skill. Baines.
Here he is with a chance. Got to be.
Pushed back into play by the goalkeeper. Here's McGeady. Here's the chance to get in the cross.
He's got space. Here's the chance. Goal.
Setting the standards here, the skipper.
Yeah, just when the team wanted somebody to lead from the front, he's done it.
Daniel Sturridge.
That is a tackle and a half.
Here's McGeady.
In with a chance.
Good stop by the goalkeeper.
Corner here for Liverpool.
Skirtle.
And here's the shot. There's still a chance after the save.
Coming up the corner that Everton have got to try and deal with. the header, and a super save.
Well, he couldn't have headed that any better. Must have thought he'd scored.
Steven Gerrard. And there goes the whistle for half-time. The scoreline is 2-0. Romelu Lukaku. Coutinho. Chance for it, got to be. He's had a crack.
Well, he's missed it, hasn't he?
Coutinho. That's a real tussle for the ball there. Magini. Lukaku. One back with a meaty tackle. Foul against Liverpool. Gets shown a yellow card. Over 84 minutes gone, 6 minutes left on my watch. To Allen. Now here is a chance for them. Got to be. It has hit the goalkeeper, but it's deflected into the net. Don't move away from your screens now, because this is going to be a dramatic finish. Clear enough. This could be a chance. Got room to go on to goal. Good stop by the goalkeeper. He's held on to the ball as well. Baines. Magini. Baines makes a challenge here. And there's the final whistle. It's a win for Everton. It's a big win in a big game, a new rivalry here. Strong start for the club, 3 points.
Well, that might just be a very important victory in terms of their morale, over the next few weeks, the next few games.
Right, so that was our main game of the evening, Everton versus Liverpool, and a great win for Everton at home at Goodison Park. In the box meet tonight is Riotous Tag, the Sevilla manager, who mustered a decent result earlier. We'll get back to that a little bit later on in the show. But Chris, that game for Everton, a good win.
It was a good win, and to be fair to Everton, they had quite a few chances, but they were just not clinical enough. But nonetheless, a 2-1 victory, 3 points on the board, that's just what they wanted.
Yeah, you mentioned maybe not being as clinical as they would have liked. They had 8 shots, not as many as Liverpool, in fact. Liverpool actually had more shots in that game. But one of their efforts just before their second goal, they couldn't quite get it over the line right there, but didn't make too much difference in the end. They scored within about a couple of minutes after making it 2-0. Liverpool seemed to have got a good start in that game, though.
They did. They had a great start, but just a bit like Everton in the middle half, they just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net, and Howard was just absolutely amazing in that game.
He had a good game, and I think a few people say that he's possibly a little bit overpowered on FIFA, but nonetheless, a great result for Everton. Liverpool, where do they go from here? Obviously, they've lost their opening game. Have they got enough firepower up there? As Balotelli, is he the kind of player that you would want to be leading the line with Sturridge?
Well, it was interesting how LGS, the manager of Liverpool, decided to start Lambert ahead of Balotelli. Balotelli comes on in the second half and manages to get the goal. So I'd say Balotelli is definitely worthy of a start for the next game. Sturridge, however, he seemed to just fade out in the game. So maybe get Lambert in to try and see if he can do something that Sturridge didn't.
They're two completely separate strikers, aren't they? Lambert's more of a get the ball up in the air, get some crosses into the box, whereas Balotelli's more of a physical striker, has a bit more pace to him, and has a decent shot as well. So it'll be interesting to see what LGS, the Liverpool manager, does next game. Can he change it to get a good result? Anyway, off now to the rest of our games from the Europe Super League. We've got a few here. First is Schalke versus Napoli. Two big European sides took to the stage for the first round of the European Super League. Schalke at home to Napoli, and Huger nearly had a great chance for Schalke in the opening minutes with a long-range effort easily saved in the end. It wasn't long until Napoli had a chance of their own though, the Guzman finding the overlapping Mertens, who found a great cross in, but unfortunately the header was not quite powerful enough on a routine save. Towards the end of the first half, Farfan had a great chance, shimmying inside and out, trying to confuse the defenders before playing a pretty dangerous ball into the box. Great save from the keeper there, from Jerome Boateng. Then our big controversial decision in the second half, where Jose Callejon made a great run, getting past his marker Haldez and being brought down to the box as he had his shot. The only goal in this game was scored by the penalty taker Dries Mertens, who put in a man of the match performance, hitting it straight down the middle of the goal. No problem, it wouldn't have even been stopped anyway. And that is how it finished here, 1-0 to Napoli, and a great win. Now back to the olden days for this video quality between Sevilla and Real Sociedad, two Spanish sides in this Europe Super League. And Real Sociedad had a great start, Banega nearly scoring after 6 minutes. Great save from the keeper at full stretch to deny Banega's header. In the 26th minute though, it was not going to be 0-0 for much longer. Real Sociedad taking the lead to a very, very well finished goal by David Zarutuza, scoring his first goal of the season. And it was just a simple one-on-one finish, making it 1-0. This was the story for much of the first half, with Real Sociedad dominating the game, but a slight defensive error let Sevilla in, but they could not capitalise, and a great stop there to make sure that they didn't get a goal. The second half came around and it was starting to change. Real Sociedad not having so much of the ball, and Sevilla starting to get more in the game. The home side starting to really push and try and get an equaliser in the second half, having that effort there. And it was very late in the game where substitute Igo Aspas scored with just a few minutes left of the game to send the home fans into raptures. Great finish, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and just buries it top corner to make it 1-1 in this all-Spanish tie. Two big sides clashed horns in the first round of the Europe Super League. Spurs at home to AC Milan, and this should have been a much closer game than what it necessarily was. Early on you could see it was apparent that the home team Spurs were going to be doing very, very well in this game. Complete 1-2 between Paulinho and Schalke, a few more passes around the midfield, then Dembele finding Paulinho again before finding a fantastic chip to an unmarked Adebayor to find his first goal of the game. A bit dubious, it could have been offside, but the referee and linesman did not give it, and Adebayor did not care. He took the goal, 1-0 to Tottenham, and a fantastic start in the early stages for the Spurs. But the moment's big controversy came in the 49th minute, where Christian Zapata appears to have fouled Paulinho in the box and start the second half. It was deemed a red card, saying that the referee thought it was the final man. Referee could have been wrong in this instance. It looked as if Christian Zapata actually won the ball. As we look at this replay again, he seems to win the ball and then the player falls over to the ground. It looked like that AC Milan got very, very unfortunate there. Going to the penalty though, and was this the start of a possible AC Milan fight back? Roberto Soldado slightly out of form of late, about to take a penalty against Lopez, but he was to miss the penalty. It was a great save from the AC Milan keeper, and this was possibly the start of a fight back. AC Milan getting into the game now, getting an interesting cross Menez coming in, having a shot, and wow, nearly putting it in. It could have been so much difference if that actually went in. But Soldado started to hit some good form, bagging his first goal of the game in the 65th minute. It was not over though. The goals kept on coming, and Eriksson found a great goal, great little shimmy, and a great finish to put it 3-0 to the Spurs. In the 79th minute, it was soon to be 4. Adebayor getting his second of the game and making it a brace for himself. But they were still not done there. Nasir Chadli having a go with some very, very good skill to get around the keeper, messing around with AC Milan, and it was 5-0 to the Spurs. Another game of the first round of the Europe Super League saw AS Roma play at home at Stadio Olimpico to VfL Wolfsburg. This was anything but a close game, with Roma taking charge at a very early stage of the game. Bang in the 3rd minute, Adam Ljajic found the bottom left-hand corner of the net with a well-placed finish. It was soon to be 2-0, Francesco Totti scoring the second goal of the match, but we do not have the actual video of that goal. There was a bit of lag in the game, but on the 28th minute, Matthias Destro found a headed ball in his path, and he easily and coolly slotted away the 3rd of the game. In the 41st minute, a great through ball to Adam Ljajic found his 2nd of the game, bang in the left-hand corner of the goal, same as it was in his first goal. But that was not it for the first half. There was more action for the Italian side, Roma. Bang on the stroke of half-time, a great through ball. Surprised this was not offside, but Matthias Destro again coolly slotting home the 5th of the game and his 2nd of the game to put them 5-0 up. The second half was more of the same. Some really sloppy defending and goalkeeping from the German side, Wolfsburg. Let in another goal for Matthias Destro, and he found his hat-trick after 64 minutes. It was then 6-1 with Ivica Olic getting just a mere consolation, but that was not the finish of this game. Poor goalkeeping work again found Adam Ljajic in perfect space, and he slotted down his 3rd of the game and his hat-trick after 80 minutes. The rout was then complete in the 85th minute. Adam Ljajic finding the ball after some really sloppy defending, and it was 8-1. And that's how it remained after the full-time whistle, 8-1 to AS Roma, and an easy win that puts them top of the table. Our next game comes from the Mestalla, and that's from Valencia and Zenit St. Petersburg. In the first half, it was mainly all Valencia in the early stages, and they took an early lead after just 10 minutes. A fantastic little through ball here to find Rodrigo, who had not the best of shots in the world, but it was a very, very poor save, as you'll now see from this different camera angle. The shot was straight at him, and he managed to absolutely, completely palm this off into the corner of the goal. Very disappointing keeping from Zenit St. Petersburg. As the first half continued though, Zenit tried to get back in the game, and Hulk almost having a great chance on the stroke of half-time, but couldn't quite make the goal. Then another controversial decision, a penalty given for this incident here. Very, very unfortunate on Zenit St. Petersburg again, in my opinion, but it goes down as a penalty for Valencia, and well, it could have been Parejo with the penalty, and it's just chipped down the middle. Very, very cheeky from the Valencia team, and the penalty taker Parejo. But this was the start of a comeback for Zenit. Rondon with that goal after 59 minutes, starting the awesome comeback from Zenit St. Petersburg away from home at the Mestalla. They started to have more and more belief as this game went on, and just 3 minutes later, Axel Witsel finding a great ball to Fazulin in the 62nd minute, and that made it 2-2 with just under half an hour left of the game. This could have gone any way. But with 15 minutes left, a throw-in and a great bit of skill from Rondon to get past his man meant that he had a shot on goal and he scored, sending the Zenit St. Petersburg fans into raptures, and that meant a great win for them, 3-2. So those were the rest of the goals from the rest of the games in the Europe Super League, bar the Inter Milan and Bayer Leverkusen game. Couldn't for some reason get the footage of that game. But starting at the top, Schalke losing to Napoli. A bit of a controversial penalty decision, the only thing in that game. Great start for Napoli, away win.
Indeed, and a bit unlucky for Schalke. The penalty decision, controversial, but nonetheless they need to regroup and get over that, get on to the next game.
Yeah, it seemed quite a game where there wasn't too much in the way of chances in that game. There wasn't really many clear-cut chances, very quiet game. Draw is probably the correct result, but otherwise Napoli, a nice smash and grab, and they'll take 3 points away from Schalke, away from home. Next is Sevilla and Real Sociedad. I saw this game a little while back, and I thought Real Sociedad were the better side. But I don't know, you're obviously manager of Sevilla. Home point, is that good enough? Or
we had quite a few reffing decisions that didn't go our way. Not taking away from Jay Pearce and his team, Real Sociedad. He had a great game, took the lead, well-deserved lead. Then I just decided to make a couple of changes, bring on Astas, and 89th minute just to get the equaliser. Unlucky not to win it, but nonetheless, that's how we go. 1 point, I'll take it.
And AS Roma are table toppers, winning 8-1 against VfL Wolfsburg in that game. Absolutely dominant. Mattia Destro scoring, I believe, a hat-trick, and Lialic scoring 4 goals in that game. Where do Wolfsburg go from there? I mean, it's 8-1.
Well, the only way they can go is up, because they're at the bottom of the table.
They are bottom of the table, that's right. It's going to be a difficult one for them. I'm not sure who they've actually got next, but it's going to be difficult.
Jambo, he had a poor game, so both teams need to kick up, so it could be an interesting game.
He did actually, talking about Jambo, yeah, he got a defeat by CUFC Ewan and Galatasaray. That's a bit of a shock result in my eyes. I was expecting Jambo to go and win that game.
Jambo, he had the team, he just couldn't get it working. Nonetheless, Ewan Galatasaray, well-deserved victory. 3 points on the board, and his season's just going better and better. Hopefully he can get 3 more points next.
Leverkusen and Inter Milan, we didn't have the footage for, but 3-3 in that game, and XRL Boberts, by Leverkusen manager, will be very, very pleased to take a point away from Inter Milan and San Siro, because they were 3-1 down. Going off to Spurs and AC Milan, 5-0 winners for Stuart, the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. He'll be very, very happy with that result.
He's second in the table now, and it was a very comfortable result. Managing to keep a clean sheet. I think one of only 2 teams that did manage to keep a clean sheet. So a good effort from him, and he'll be looking forward to his next game. Well,
he will be. Very, very good result for Tottenham there. Hinged on a red card decision in the second half. I personally think that it was a poor decision, the penalty and the red card. I know he was last man, so it would need to be a red card, but it wasn't a penalty in the first place. So to concede 4 goals after that, I feel for XRL Cornish is a bit unfortunate, but he's down in the deep end of the table at the moment in 15th. Our final game saw Valencia have a 2-0 lead and throw it away against Zenit St. Petersburg. Just like Senna, the manager of Zenit will be thrilled with that away win.
Absolutely, and he has every right to. 2-0 down, Valencia absolutely storming away in the first half. But Zenit just keep plugging away and getting them chances, and, well, 3 shots in the second half, just making that 3 goals. So, absolutely great effort from him.
Well, thanks, Chris, for your help tonight, and we will round off the league table. If you want to join us next week, we'll try and get a manager in from a different club each week to try and shed a little bit more light on each of the games. But let's have a look at the league table. AS Roma, as we previously said, are leading the table with that 8-1 victory over Wolfsburg. Tottenham in the second place position at the moment. Zenit, after that late comeback, are now in third place, with Everton's win against Liverpool putting them into fourth. Galatasaray and Napoli, the only other teams to win, in fifth and sixth. Leverkusen and Milan are seventh and eighth on goals scored, with 1 point, with ninth and 10th being Real Sociedad and Sevilla. Then our teams that lost games are Valencia, Porto and Liverpool, just outside the relegation zone, with Schalke, AC Milan and Wolfsburg. A big mountain to climb. They've got to get into the training ground and think about how they can go forwards from that poor result. But we'll be back next time. Hopefully we'll see you then.